I sent it to Instagram. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I send it to them, right? And then they're like, oh, we're like, some lady hit me up. It's like, we love this. Like, can you make some? I'm like, no, like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, can you guys make them? You know what I mean?
What's up? Welcome back to the Chop Shop. I'm Brad Kofman. I'm here today at Good News Studios with the legend himself, JC Rivera.
What's up, guys?
What's up? Thanks for coming, man. Thanks for coming. So you're obviously a huge artist out of Chicago, but you didn't start in Chicago, which I recently learned, which surprised me. You're from Puerto Rico, correct?
Yes.
And you started, what I had heard was you started in Florida, maybe Orlando. Is that correct?
Yeah. I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. I came to the United States when I was 21 through Disney.
Okay.
The internship at Disney college program. And then after that, 9/11 happened. They fired me. So let everybody go because, you know.
Well, what was the internship?
Just through college. They do, they kind of pick like random, it's shitty. Like they just like kind of pick people. It's like, you want to work for Disney? And then you're like, oh, hell yeah. And you go and they just like put you in like outdoor foods and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's like there was like people from like South Korea, Brazil, and all these places, you know, and then you kind of put you, it's kind of cool because they put you together and you party and everything, you know, like you all college students.
Oh yeah.
It was like pretty cool, but I came through that and then I stayed.
What was the major you were in?
Computer science.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I grew up in Cuamo, which is like a south town of Puerto Rico. Like my parents were like, there's no money in art. You know what I mean? Like I had my dad, like uncle was a teacher, art teacher. And it's like, that's what you're going to end up like doing.
Yeah, there's only one path with them. So, are your parents still alive?
Yes.
Yeah. Do they get what you do now? Are they proud of you, or like they're like, I see he's doing well, but I still don't get it?
No. So when 2020, I think happened. I mean, like I was doing it for a long time. I've been doing it kind of full-time artist since like 2011. I started again. You know, I did it a little bit. 2011, I think I started like completely going again, and. It wasn't until in 2020, my dad, all the time, so like they're always like, oh, sure, right? And then it wasn't until 2020, my dad helped me in a mural for Harley Davidson, like where they painted a mural in the store.
When you say he helped you, you did it together?
Yeah, he helped me like paint it and stuff.
Your dad's an artist as well?
Yeah. He stopped doing it, but the family would like kind of all have a little bit of art thing.
Very cool.
And when I got paid, I showed him. You know, like this how much I got paid.
Yeah, you were like, see?
Yeah, I got the check and I showed him and he's like, man, that was like my whole paycheck for my whole salary for a whole year when he was like, you know, working.
He was probably so proud to see you do that.
Yeah. So I kind of that was like the moment, you know, that they kind of like got it.
That's amazing. Was it a big moment for you too? Were you like, did you feel like a little, I don't know, sense of validation from it?
Yeah, of course. Because, you know, I mean, like it's just there's so many people when I was already like, you know, being a full-time artist that they were, like kind of like, sure, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, they just like kind of, you are, but like, we don't see it or.
Yeah.
You know, like art, being an artist is so weird. Now I think it's better, but it's so weird because a lot of people don't really like appreciate it as much or respect it, you know?
Especially when you're starting out. Like I feel like when you have a name for yourself, people get it, but People like, I mean, like, I feel like it's the same with comedy too. Like when you start out, you're doing open mics, people are like, what the fuck are you doing at this burger place?
Yeah, exactly.
But that's really cool. So you go on, sorry.
No, I mean, so it's just, it takes a while for people. And it's still, I still get sometimes people in my DM like, hey, can you come and paint a mural on my house? You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, what's your budget? I'm like, no, because you paint on the street. Can I just paint it? You know what I mean? Like,
I'll buy you a pizza. You're like, I'm way past that shit.
Yeah. So,
that's crazy, man. So you came here on an internship, worked at Disney, and then you just ended up in Orlando?
I mean, because I stayed in Orlando. I met was my wife for the, we got married later, but we moved in together. We got kind of jobs in retail, and I worked in retail, and I was just doing my thing. It was like I was like 21, 22. Then one day I walked into a pawn shop. I didn't care about art at the moment. Like I was just trying to survive, And I walked into a pawn shop, and then I saw a G4 art book. And I was like, how much? And it's like, oh, it's locked. Somebody stole it and just sold it. And it's like, oh, $150. Sure. I bought it. Then I went home and I figured out how to unlock it. When I unlocked it, it had Photoshop, like on the computer. And I had no idea what like any of that stuff. And I started playing with it. And I started doing logos and stuff with it for me.
For real?
Yeah.
Photoshop's hard to do. I couldn't do that.
And then I went to, and I started putting on Craigslist. I can do this. With like a shitty portfolio thing. And I started people asking me to do their logos, for free and stuff.
No way.
I'm like, oh man, I think I like to, I would love, it's still not much. And then we moved to Chicago a couple of years later. And I was here doing retail again. And and then one day I was like, some 3 guys I had in the West Loop, they had money and they wanted to do a clothing brand, and they hired me to be the illustrator.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and then I did a bunch of illustrations and stuff. Some of the stuff they sold it in Macy's and things like that. And after that, it was just kind of cool to make money doing art.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I still worked at a warehouse and things like that. But then I had the bear somewhere, and kind of like I was like, I want to brand something, because I was just doing art and I was painting different things, and I want to brand something. And then the bear was like this bear with boxing gloves and like smoking a cigarette, like all beat up, and I called him the Broken Champ. It wasn't the Bear Champ, it was the Broken Champ. And then I kind of painted it in different paintings. And I did like a bunch of paintings, and it was just sitting on my place for a long time.
So I was doing some research, and I found it sounds like what was it before? It was the Broken Champ. Mm-hmm. When you came up with the Broken Champ, it was like kind of along the lines of like a boxing influence. Mm-hmm. You'd mentioned like you grew up in Puerto Rico, and you just had were boxers like big for you growing up, or like was your family really into it, or is it just a big part of Puerto Rican culture?
It's a culture, yeah.
It's like Bad Bunny.
Trinidad, I grew up like that with Trinidad, Felix Tito.
Okay.
Yeah, we like just watching him fight. Like he was like, we were so proud of him.
Yeah.
Fighting and stuff, and all this like Camacho and those. That was like when I grew up. So boxing was like a big thing because we had champions. We had people that were really, really good at it. So.
The bear itself, was there like any influence from Chicago at that point, or did like the connection just kind of come later, just how it kind of linked up?
Well, it was later, like I was always, even growing up in Puerto Rico, I wanted to live in a city, right? Like a urban city, because I grew up in like not like that. And when I moved here, the influence of that, having the city, and like I paint the bear usually sitting on top of the building.
Yeah,
I have a lot of paintings like that because it's just I was very influenced by living in the city and being in like in the city environment and the hustle of the city. That's what I like Chicago, because when I moved here, and it was just everything was like everybody was hustling and everybody was trying to make it and trying to do things. So that for me was like very inspiring.
I've heard you say before that the way you did the bear originally, like with like the yellow and I think maybe the orange or red. I'm so colorblind, man. I don't know. So I apologize. But yellow and like orange or red, you had said something like the reason you chose those colors were like it's the only ones you had, and the yellow was acrylic and the other one was oil, and you just said, fuck it, I'm gonna mix it. Was that like out of a point of like, hey, I'm just gonna work with what I have, or were you just like, I got these markers here, let me make something?
Well, so that I only have, let's say, yellow. What's that called? The color, the shade of it.
I don't know. I'm bad with colors.
It's like, I mean, I still buy, but I only have that yellow and red and black, and then the I shaded, so it wasn't that clean black outline. It was like a shaded umber.
Okay.
Yeah, like a shaded that, and I made it. So I did these paintings, and I had them like sitting. I went to Blick to get more supplies at one point, and the girl was a cashier. She's like, "Hey, what's your work?" And I show her. It's like, "Oh, this is pretty dope." It's like, "What have you shown anywhere?" I'm like, "No," And I mean, this is like when I wasn't like around in Chicago like that. And then she's like, "Hey, I'm a art person at a gallery in Pilsen, and would you like to show there?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I mean, she was show me put me first, and like I did like a group show. It's like 3 more artists. This is like 2010, 11.
So this was kind of like your first art show.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so hang on. So you just got it by walking into this place to buy art supplies, and she was like, "This is fucking good."
Yeah.
Well, at that point, did you like know you were good? Were you like, I'm kind of good at this, or did you have to find out later from other people like her?
Later, yeah, because it was just I never showed anything to anybody. It was just like on my place, me and my ex-wife. You know what I mean? Like that was it. Like I was just like, oh, and she's like, oh, that's cool. That was it. But when I did the art show, at that moment there was not a lot of characters based. It wasn't that popular to do characters in Chicago.
Characters like the bear character. Yeah, okay.
So the show was like a lot of like, kind of portraits and whatever. And then everybody was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, I mean, like legit, like we were like, I was like,
it's different.
Yeah, and I was kind of disappointed because I put a lot of time into the paintings, and I put like what's it called, frames, gold like ornate frames and stuff.
I like those. Those are cool.
Yeah. So and I took the painting back, and then I just like, fuck it. I mean, I'm not gonna do this again.
So your first art show, you didn't sell anything?
No. Yeah, and then the Green Door,
the tavern.
Yeah. It's in Logan. No, so the one under the Western stop, and the Western and
yes, I do know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So they used to do like this a sketch night. Well, I think they still do. They like, oh, would you like to put a couple paintings? And then they put the paintings up, and then I sold a couple from there. Just
by being at the bar?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, to $250.
Whatever. That's cool.
Yeah.
Is it a bear champ at this point?
Yes. That's what I kind of changed the name, but it had like wings too, like a little wings on it. So.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
And now you've done a lot of murals in Chicago. Like you've done Parlor Pizza. Mm-hmm. That one's pretty iconic. You did the Broken English ones. Mm-hmm. I think you have just some on like sides of buildings and stuff too. Yeah. Have you done any other businesses that?
The Barstool.
Yeah. Oh, you did the Barstool stuff too?
Yeah.
We just had the Barstool guys on.
Yeah, the whole their basketball court thing.
Oh, for real?
The whole back of it. It's right there. It's on the thing. That's like the one in the middle.
Oh, that's the Barstool offices?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
You know Patrick Shino, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's when I started following you, was when you got some of your big statues, right? Like 5-6 years ago or something?
Yeah, I got that, yeah. Him and another friend helped me like fund the first ones. Yeah. That's why,
Cool.
Yeah.
So you mentioned like when you were growing up in Puerto Rico, it wasn't like an urban environment. You would like always long for that. Now it's kind of like representative in your work. What was it like? Were you like in like a more like rural like farming area, or was it a small town?
Yeah, kind of small, very I don't know how to describe it, but we're closer to the beach and stuff. But it was hills or whatever, but like very, very rural. Not like farm, but like not like, either like the power goes out for like a few days. And
Got it.
No water for a few days and stuff.
Was there a lot of like art in that town, or just like maybe craftsmanship that like inspired you?
No, not really.
Okay.
Like my grandpa was like, he actually made his own, even until, he died pretty much, he made guitars.
Really?
Yeah. Like from scratch, like from the piece of wood. And
I play guitar. That's amazing.
Yeah, so
that's a hard
dope
thing to do.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. Like how he did it. He still, there's a bunch around. My dad, I think, has a couple still.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's such a cool thing to pass down. So he kind of did it in his own way.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, we like artists in the family and stuff. But yeah, but I was just me. I had two brothers. One was like 7 years. The one's like 7 years older than me, and the other one's 2 years older than me. But they did their own thing. I was the youngest, and I was just like sketch. Kind of like into my own thing, sketching Michael Jordan.
Your art style, or like maybe it's just the characters, remind me of like something that might have started as like a kid who doodles. Mm-hmm. Do you remember like some of the first like cartoons or like things you doodled? Like you mentioned Michael Jordan. Were there others? Like were you doing the bear a long time ago in a different way?
No, actually, the bear came 2005, maybe 2006.
Okay.
Yeah, but like growing up, it was like Michael Jordan, Batman, Spider-Man.
Just whatever you were into at the time. Yeah.
Do you have your first Bear Champ sketches? Your Broken Bear sketches?
Yeah, I think I do. There was like a box. I did a gig with Boost Mobile, a TV commercial, and I brought the box and they did it kind of like a shot from the top. Yeah, and then there's a whole bunch of sketches around. Yeah, so I still have. Yeah, I still have a bunch of stuff like that.
You were mentioning a little bit earlier too that kind of there was a point when things switched from like you being like, I don't know, not like I guess like a hobbyist to being like, oh, this is a career for me. Mm-hmm. Did you notice there was like a point where like things just like drastically kind of picked up, or was it always kind of a grind for you?
So I went full time, and then I had my daughter, and then I went back to work. When my son I was full time, but I was full time doing vinyl figures.
Say what?
The vinyl figures, like Kid Robot stuff.
No, I don't know if I do.
It's
could you pull it up, Johnny? Actually, it's called vinyl figures.
Yeah, it's called designer toys.
Okay.
Yeah, so I like this. Yeah, designer toys. So I used to customize those.
Okay.
So I made probably, I don't know, like stuff like that. I used to take the blank ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you see one of them is like my actually one of them is mine. That one, the one next to it. That's like my bear city. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's cool. What are these made out of? Vinyl?
Vinyl, yeah.
Wow.
You produce them in China.
Is it like a mold?
They do vinyl in China. You gotta produce them
Oh, so you just order them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, but I sculpted it by hand.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like at the beginning. Like I used to do that. Clay, and then resin and the mold. I learned how to do that myself.
Oh man, it's so cool.
Yeah,
that's kind of a cool thing to know how to do.
Yeah, it was pretty cool actually. Like I said, I learned to do it myself, and I did that for 2 or 3 years, and I didn't make a killing, but I make enough money to do that. And then when my daughter was born, I was doing it, and then when my son was born, I was kind of like, I want to do something else, and that's when I started like hanging out with a graffiti crew at the moment, and they're like, hey, come with us and paint, because they painted letters, so we need a character, so I painted a character in between their stuff.
Oh, letters. For real? So you were kind of like a collab thing. Is it how you know Worm?
No, well, yeah, I know from him like later, but yeah, like I painted with them, and that's kind of I went to the with Instagram. I went to the street, which Instagram I was like one of the first 10,000 users on Instagram. Oh, wow.
How do you know? Did they tell you? Or like, yeah, really?
So this is a cool story. Because I did the designer toys, right? I was really into that. I sculpted. Do you know the old Instagram toy? The old Instagram logo, the brown one. It's like
it's the brown camera.
One. So yeah, I took that logo and I sculpted like a little character with the logo, and I sculpted by hand, and I painted it. It's like with the smile. It's like very simple. If you Google, you can see it. Very simple. It's like a smile, and it has arms and legs.
JC Rivera.
Instagram toy. Yeah.
Yeah, Instagram toy.
Yeah. So I sculpted it, and I sent it to Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, hey,
yeah, why the fuck not?
Yeah. I said, I make this, and I just made it. I was like, there's so much crap in there.
Yeah, but I could imagine. And you sent it to Instagram?
And I sent it to Instagram. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I send it to them, right? And then they're like, oh, we're like, some lady hit me up. It's like, we love this. Like, can you make some? I'm like, no, like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, can you guys make them? You know what I mean? I'm like, and then, you know, it was shitty. And then Shimbone, it was this guy that by that time, he had access to 3D printers. To doing a 3D printer like that, it was like a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
So he did a really clean, and then we pitched it to them. I was like, hey, we can do this. That's your thing. And they're like, oh, fuck yeah, we love it. So they ordered 30 from us for their staff. 30 people are on Instagram at the moment. And they ordered and they had the staff.
Oh, hang on. I misunderstood. There were only 30 employees at Instagram. Yeah. Oh, my God.
But check this out. Like, it was like, and she's like, oh, we wanted to produce it to be like, we want to license it from you to be like a whole shit everywhere. And Wire Magazine picked it up.
Okay.
And then so I went from like probably 500 followers on Instagram or so to like thousands.
Damn.
Like, you know what I mean? It became viral at the moment. Like, everybody's like, oh, this toy, like, it's cool, Instagram or whatever. And she's like, hey, let's produce it. And we're going to produce it and everything. And then everything was cool. And I was like, oh, man, this is it. This is cool. Then I wake up one day, I looked at the news, and then I get an email. Facebook bought Instagram.
Oh my God. And they nixed you out of the deal?
That was it. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh man, you should have done one of those. Who is it? David Chen, who painted the Facebook mural. He was like, "Don't pay me, just give me stock."
Yeah, I know, but I mean, at that moment, I was just. It's kind of those things I learned how to do business now, but at that time I was just like.
Did you hand paint all 30?
No, somebody did. Okay. Those, yeah. I hadn't painted the first one or whatever, but yeah.
What made you like even think to do that and reach out to Instagram? Were you just looking for ways to like get your name out there, or was it just, this is a fun idea?
It's fun. I mean, I'd still do it. I
Yeah.
kind of like do some stuff that I did. It's not the bear, whatever. And then I do it and I was like, hey. And then people are like, oh man, this is dope or whatever. And then, you know, it goes somewhere or it doesn't go.
That's amazing. Yeah. So you try and like spread, kind of like elevate yourself by sending it to brands to hopefully be like, this is cool. Let's like advertise this, put it out, get JC Rivera's name out there too. Probably not so much anymore. Everybody knows who you are, but like back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, I just thought it was like a cool thing to do, and then just kind of, you know, if they like it, okay, let's do it, you know. Or if they don't, it's cool too.
Right, yeah, because you still made it. You didn't lose anything out of it.
Even with the bear, like, I mean, I have ideas sometimes that it's like a collaboration with a brand or whatever, and I was like, hey, I have this idea. And then it's like, oh, man, that's dope. You know? Yeah. It's like, it takes a lot because it's illegal and all that stuff, but yeah.
Do you find that part to like distract you or take away from like the creative part? Like, do you feel like it dulls you, or do you like doing both sides, the business and the art?
I like to do them both. I mean, I have managers, you know, at some point, and I still have. But I still kind of like to do it myself. Yeah. And just because, and I mean, the whole, I mean, sometimes you need it, like especially bigger, you know, companies or whatever. You kind of need that middle person.
Totally.
But like, you know, I usually just like to do it myself.
Do you feel like you just do a better job? You trust yourself more? Or you're like, I can do this. Why do I need to pay somebody else to?
No, I mean, I don't mind paying it. Depends how much money it is. But like 500, good point, I'm going to give you a percentage of 500. No, but like, I don't know. It's just easier. Like right now, I'm talking to a brand, and you know, and they hit me up, and I usually I'll be like, hey, talk to my manager. But this time I was like, hey, you know what? I mean, it's like it's how I feel. And how I feel at the moment too.
Right.
If I'm annoyed or whatever, I'll be like, I don't want to talk to him because then, you know, I'm gonna fuck it up.
Yeah, it's nice to have the option for sure, right? When you like collab with these brands, has there been one that like was really cool to get, or maybe one that's just like so out there you never expected to do?
Real Madrid.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a numbers on the jerseys.
How'd that come about?
They wanted.
Yeah, can we put that up, Johnny? That's cool. I want to see that.
One of the ladies works with them. She collects. She used to come to Chicago a lot, and she saw my murals, and then she bought one of my. And then when they came, the idea of came, she was like, "Hey, would you like to do this?" Like they did it with another artist the year before, and that was pretty nice for me too. Like a lot of publicity and stuff too.
Yeah, I mean that's like, was that the first time you got to do something like international like that?
Yeah, international. Yes.
So that put you on a whole new stage. Now you're like, oh yeah, pull up. I want to see.
Yeah. And it's Adidas in Real Madrid, which I worked with Adidas like a long time ago too. I did a shirt for them for their website.
That's so cool. Was there like a lot of steps to like get what you wanted to do approved after they got you, or was it just kind of like they said do whatever you want?
Actually, I did. Because sometimes
that's good.
Sometimes it's weird because sometimes it's like somebody like that, like a company like that hits me up, or like a organization.
Yeah.
Say hit me up, and then I still get. Oh, what do they want? Maybe they want, and I try to match them instead of stay true to myself.
Okay.
And then with this one, the first design I did, it was corny as fuck. Like they were like, "What the fuck is this?"
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was it? Did you remember?
It was just it was just like me trying to match them.
Got it.
And they're like, "We don't want this. We want this." And then it was like, "What I do?" And I was like, "Oh shit, that's even better." And it was like so much fun after that. Yeah. Like I do that a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of like overthinking, and now I'm kind of recently I started pushing it more. I'll be like, this is what I do. Like if you don't like it, well, fuck it.
Yeah. That way you don't dilute yourself, and that way you don't dilute yourself, and also I feel like the organizations you work for that just are like, we want you for who you are, probably are better organizations.
Yeah. There was one gig that I ghosted them. I never ghost anybody. Like I never always like, it doesn't work, right? Yeah. But there was one, and it was because it was a liquor company. They hired me, and liquor is weird because if you have a character, it kind of goes into the kids. So they can, it kind of goes into kids.
Yeah, but you could sell a cotton candy vape.
Yeah. But it's just really weird. And so they hire me, and they're like, "Hey, we love your stuff. This and that." And then when we go into the design, then they're like, "Oh, well, you can't do the bear." And then I started doing stuff with my kind of style of how I paint. And then it almost like it got to the point that they were like, "Well, just do this like this guy does in Austin." Yeah. Like they wanted me to copy another artist. Yeah. And I had a manager in between, and I was like, "Oh, fuck him." I'm like, "I'm not. That's it."
I mean, at that point, it's like, then go get this guy.
Yeah, exactly. So I just completely ghosted, and then he's like, "Hey, are we gonna reply to them?" I'm like, "Man, I'm not going to."
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Good for you. What kind of liquor was it? Was it tequila? Whiskey?
No, it was a shitty one. They're popular.
Gin, probably gin. Nobody likes gin.
No, it wasn't tequila.
It was a tequila?
No, it was I was like, I don't know what that is even.
Yeah.
What with the pirate?
Oh, yeah. I know, but it's rum. It's rum.
Yeah.
Rum. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, fuck them. Yeah. That's cool though. Yeah, Real Madrid. Is there? You've worked with most of the Chicago teams, I believe. You've done the Bears. I know that for sure. You've done. Have you done the Cubs?
No. It's so weird, man. Like I've done White Sox too. I did a hat thing with them.
The Cubs, you just think would make sense because it's a little bear.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't like me. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the Ricketts. They're a bunch of billionaires.
Huh?
He's a White Sox fan. I'm a Cubs fan.
Oh, I did the White Sox. Yeah. And then the White Sox, the Bulls. The Bulls are like, I did even a toy for them. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. It kind of looked like the Bear Champ.
Yeah, it was a Bull. Yeah. Yeah, they that one, and the Bulls, they're really nice organization to work with too.
Yeah.
The Sox were okay. The Bears were cool too. I did a mural for the Bears a long time ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but the Cubs, never. It's always been weird, and everybody asks me anything. It's like I don't know. Like, I don't know, whatever.
Are you a big sports fan?
Not really.
Not really.
I mean, I watch it. I know, and my kids is like really into it, so I kind of like keep up with it. But I watch. I know a lot about it. I just don't like. I will not be in a wedding like watching the game.
Okay, yeah, okay. You
like
took me literally a big sports fan, but yeah, do you have what's your favorite team?
Like,
are you like a Chicago guy? Are you still kind of like Orlando, Miami?
No, I mean, no. I can go watch any team. I think, yeah. But from here, like I like baseball.
Yeah,
so I grew up. I played baseball growing up.
Did you?
No, not like, but I, man, it was like one of the sports that we played all the time.
Yeah, so you're probably a bigger White Sox fan because they fuck with you.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But Wrigley's Wrigley. You know what I mean? It's cool to go there.
Yeah, Wrigley's got a lot of cool history.
Yeah.
I love going to Wrigley. I mean, I'm a pretty big Cubs fan, and Cubs have only been good for like 2 to 3 years out of my whole life. So like going there and like even seeing them selling out and sitting in the bleachers, and there's just so much history and family history with it that it's just it's a cool place. And I like that about sports. I feel like that could be true about like art too. Like, be cool to like make a mural and then like know like people's kids and grandkids will like one day like be like, oh yeah, there's the mural we would meet at or something like that.
Yeah. Like the Parlor Pizza mural, it became like very like
super iconic.
People, a lot of people usually, or even if they don't live. I had a gig in Montreal. That I got it because he's a comedian over there. Okay, and he comes over here all the time, and then he hired me.
Who is it? Can we know?
What's his name? Pascal, I think his name.
Pascal?
Yeah. With the B is his last name.
With a B. Yeah. I'll think about it. Okay.
It's French, so it's like really hard for me.
Okay. Is he a French guy?
Yeah, French
dude? Oh, okay.
Yeah. But he's actually coming back, and he like hit me up because he used to come over here to like watch comedy shows too, so he can like kind of pick up and stuff. And I think he was part of a show over there that was kind of like SNL over here
in Montreal.
Yeah. Okay. Like a skit like type of show. Yeah. But he hired me to go and paint over there because he saw my murals over here.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And in Mexico, I went to Mexico City like the same way too.
Oh, you did it in Mexico City as well?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I've always wanted to go to Mexico City. It looks amazing.
It's awesome. I did get salmonella there though.
You got salmonella?
I almost died there.
Do you know what did it to you? Did you like pinpoint the food that you were like, I probably shouldn't have ate that? Fish.
Yeah, it was fish. It was like the first place when I got there. The guy that brought me, he took me there, and I remember like seeing it with like the little like raw chicken on like the lettuce and shit. Yeah. Almost killed me though.
Damn.
Yeah, because I was by myself in my Airbnb and I had it really bad, and I was just like dying, and I got dehydrated probably like completely pass out in like an hour or so. Like,
holy shit.
Yeah, like I was like, I remember like almost, and I was like, I called the dude. I was like, yo, like I think I'm gonna die. I don't know what. And he showed up and he took me to the hospital. It's like, yo, like you have really bad salmonella.
The hospital said you had really bad salmonella?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's scary. I think about that sometimes too when I eat shit because you're like, this is gonna be a bad idea. But you never think I never think salmonella. I think maybe food poisoning or diarrhea, but that's wild.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Got a whole new fear now. Mexico City looks amazing outside of the salmonella and diarrhea, but it looks cool. That's awesome. Is there like a company or maybe a team that you've been wanting to work with that would be like a cool thing for you or like a dream?
Oh, I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. It'd be cool. Like at one point, before 2020, the whole pandemic happened, I was set to do some stuff in Hong Kong on the harbor. Oh. The harbor. Like I have a sculpture and everything there.
Okay.
Yeah, and it fell through to that, whatever. So
I heard you talking, I think in an interview about that one of like the mediums you've never done but always wanted to tackle is a sculpture.
Yeah.
Would that have been your first one? Have you done one?
I've
yet?
done it now. You know what I mean? I mean, like Patrick, like, but, you know, that we did a couple sculptures and stuff. But I would like to have one in the city, though.
Yeah, that'd be
Like a big
amazing.
sculpture. I mean, I talked to a couple of different neighborhoods, you know, and stuff.
Yeah.
I just have to figure it out. It's just the fabricators now, they're charging us so much. But,
How does that? What do you mean the fabricators? Like the people who actually have to like give you the materials?
well, no, they'll make it.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I want like probably 20 feet or 15.
Oh, so when somebody does something like that, you design it and like tell them how you want it, but then like fabricators will come and do the welding and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes way more sense. I never knew that.
Yeah.
When you do these like murals, like say it's not on like just for like a neighborhood or something like that, what's the process like? Do you have to like talk to City Hall or like petition them, or
No.
do they ask you?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I painted one for like one thing that so one time it was a really like, a lot of drama. I painted, the city hired me to paint a mural at the train stop in the Brown line in like Lakeview, I think.
Okay.
And I painted a mural, and I mean, I went on vacation to Orlando, and I came back, and I was over there, and then the city, what's it called, the Chamber of Commerce from that area, it's like, hey man, did you see? I'm like, what? The city, somebody claimed that it was graffiti, and the city buffed it.
No
They paid
fucking
me.
way.
They paid me to paint it. And they
you still got
buffed it.
paid though, yeah?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So check this out. They
If you
buffed
want it again, it's double.
Yeah, well, they buffed it, and then what's it called? He's like, oh shit, and it's like, hey, the news is gonna reach out to you because it's taxpayers' money.
Oh.
So they want they you know what I mean, like they want to make a story of it, and it was like, you know, sorry, I would say it was on first, like, you know, I mean, the newspaper the next day.
Oh my
Taxpayer
God.
money gets like wasted, but this is like a whole thing. I still have the paper, and then he's like, don't say anything, like, you know, and they like calling me, and I was like,
Who
oh.
said that? Your lawyer?
No, the Chief of Commerce guy. And then he's like, don't. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. I don't give a shit. And it's like, oh, and then later, the whole thing, you know, it kind of got picked up by like a bunch of people and everything. And everybody's trying to reach out to me to see what I was saying. I'm like, no comments, like that. And later, they're like, hey, well, the city wants you to paint it again. And I was like, yeah, sure.
And you did it again?
They pay me, yeah, again. I did it again. Yeah.
Was it?
It's not as valuable.
Yeah. And
Thank you for that.
So, and I did it. Now it's like tagged by like graffiti writers over it and everything. And it's like, yeah, it's so fucked up now. So,
People tagged over your work?
yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Do they, when they do that, do they contribute and add on to your work, or are they just like almost
No, it's
painting
just like,
over
fuck
it?
this guy.
Ah, fuck that.
Yeah.
That's so crazy, especially on a piece like that.
Ask a question. What do you have any good stories about interactions while you're doing these pieces with people that see you doing these murals? Because obviously you're painting there for a while.
Mhm.
Do you have any stories of fans?
Oh man, like all the time. Yeah, like I'm always like, sometimes when I'm painting, there's always like, I love your shit, man. You know, like stop, and then people just stop by, like, you know, all ages and everything, you know, and they just like, it's always really cool. And I didn't paint a mural for a long time, you know, a little bit ago, and when I painted one, and it's just like I painted one in Uptown. I kind of added to one like a couple of weeks ago, and it was pretty cool because everybody was so nice, and everybody just like stopped and talked to me and everything. I'm like, oh man, this is what I liked about painting the street. Like, oh, everybody just, they don't even know what it is. And sometimes you even like do one line, it's like, looks good. You know? It's just one line. It's cool. And I mean, it's one of the best things just to paint. I mean, the only time that I hated painting a mural, it was Broken English and Old Town.
Oh yeah, on Wells there.
Dicks, man. Everybody was such a dick around there. Like because they're like people with money or whatever. Fucking dicks, dude. They treated me like shit. Yeah, it was so weird.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird that people are just like literally 3 miles away treat you so differently.
Yeah.
What do people like bring you food ever or anything like that?
Yeah, so I painted a mural, and one of the coolest like things that I painted in a mural with an artist outside of London, and you know, I mean, I was in London the first time, and I got there, And then he's like, my dog side, his name, the artist name. And he's like, oh, like a smaller town outside of London, 2 hours. And I took the train to out there, and we painted a mural, and it was pretty cool. It was like, what's it called? People can bring you tea, food.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
you got a little bit of the culture. So nice. You got some tea and crumpets.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Where's the coolest place your like career or like art's taken you?
I think I've been to Milan, Rome, London, Spain. I went to the Bahamas to do something.
Sick.
Places like that, which is like pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like that, I never imagined.
Yeah.
In my life to do anything or going anywhere.
I like your pieces in Puerto Rico a lot.
Oh, Puerto Rico. Yeah, Puerto Rico is like, it's fun to go every time because it's like kind of like free to paint too. Yeah.
Have you done pieces in your like hometown when you grew up?
Yeah, I have one. I have a wall. Like this is my wall. Every time I go, I can paint it.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have pictures of it on your Instagram or something?
Maybe my Instagram.
Oh, okay.
I had to repaint it right now. The Puerto Rico sun is like crazy. So it's like faded a lot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I have to go paint it.
Do you find the international art community to be a lot different than like the art community in the US? Or at least maybe even North America?
It's always been cool though. Like I feel like, yes, I think a lot of the artists in Europe especially, they're insanely like talented too,
yeah,
and they do all this like crazy stuff. But I mean, every time I was in a city like that in Europe, I will hit up on Instagram. I'll like look at the hashtag of the city and street art, and I'll hit up somebody and be like, hey, I'm from Chicago, like whatever. And then right away, nobody ever said like, fuck you guy. No, it was like right away. I'm like, oh man, let's link up and stuff like that.
Is there like a big...
Is this your wall?
No, that's it actually by the airport. That's the last one I painted, actually, Puerto Rico. Yeah, it's like probably that one, the one with the boxing, that one
right there.
Yeah, that's my wall.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, hell yeah! So you just keep adding like small things to it every time you go?
I'll repaint it.
Oh, you just repaint the whole damn thing?
Repaint the whole thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Do you find that hard to do? Like, do you like get attached to your murals ever where you're like, I don't want to paint over it?
Some of them, yeah.
I guess you just don't paint over those ones.
Yeah.
Have you met any of like the, like I imagine there's like a big eccentric community that buys art. Have you met like any like eccentric billionaires that just like love your shit and they're like, oh yo JC, come on my private jet to to this island?
Well, I lived between here and Miami for 3 years.
You left to go back to Miami?
I lived like I'll go there for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks and I come back.
I was in Miami last year doing shows and I saw something that looked like something you might have done in Wynwood.
Yeah, I painted in Wynwood. I lived in like Edgewater.
Okay, yeah, it was on like First or something.
Yeah,
it was. I don't think it was the Bear, but it looked something like that. Looked like your style.
So I lived between, and so in Miami, you know what I mean. Everybody's always, and I did, I did like hang out with like people, whatever. But But now I'm back here in Chicago full time.
Do you feel like you like Chicago more? Are you more partial to it, or like?
Yeah, there's much stuff in Miami.
Yeah, which one was it?
That one is the recent one
with the rabbits.
Yeah, the rabbits is a friend of mine. Cool.
Who's the guy that does the rabbits?
It's a friend of mine from that. His name is like Rabbits. Friend, Mr. Rabbit. Yeah, he's from Miami.
Is that one's you too with the bear? Obviously, right?
Yeah,
that's sick. Well, that's the one I think I saw right there.
No, that's in Noble Square.
Oh, maybe that's why it looks familiar.
The Flamingos is in Chicago?
Yeah, Noble Square.
Cool.
Yeah.
What was I just asking you? The eccentric people, and then you said so. Well, why do you like Chicago more than Miami? Why do you feel so partial to Chicago?
Chicago's home for me.
Yeah.
I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. I came to the U.S. when I was 21. I lived in Orlando for 7 years. I didn't do anything. When I got to Chicago, I was in late 20s, and I made my life here.
Yeah.
And my kids were born here and everything. Like career-wise, me as a person, defined me completely.
I heard you talking about choosing, like, from a career standpoint, like LA, New York, or Chicago. Was there like a decision process that went into it where you're like, I choose Chicago, or was it more of a vibe thing?
No, it was, well, my ex-wife, family is from outside the city. So it was kind of like, hey, it's a bigger city too. Well, we were thinking New York or LA because, we wanted a bigger city. But, my family closer to, and also like, Chicago is a great city because it's big enough that you get noticed, right?
Yeah.
And it's small enough that you can stand out.
Yeah, New York, you kind of get lost in the sauce a little bit.
Yeah, man.
There's just too many things going on.
But I don't think it's like, in the arts, I don't think it's like that. It's just because it has so much history, right? With like so many artists come out of there or whatever. But I don't know. Like, I feel like there's other cities that, like Chicago, like even LA has like a lot of artists. Like even right now when the fire happens, like a lot of artists lost their house, and there's like a lot of artists that are really fucking good, and they live in like those areas too.
Should do like a Bear Champ Statue of Liberty for New York.
Yeah, right. I would like to do one with the fist up. Like, here, like the bear with the fist up.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Is there like a favorite small city you have that is like you would never expect to be great for art, but is?
Yes, I was in Oklahoma.
Okay.
What's no, shit. Oklahoma City, yeah. Yes. They do. I have a few people. I did a mural fest there, and I was impressed how many. And then Kansas City.
Kansas City?
Yeah. I have a shit ton of murals there.
Which side, the St. Louis side or the Kansas side?
St. Louis side.
St. Louis side, okay.
Yeah, it's great with the arts too. Yeah.
That's awesome. What do you like outside of art? I guess, like, do you have any other creative outlets? That's a dumb thing to say. Not outside of art, outside of like murals and like paintings. Do you have other creative outlets you like?
Music, but I never like did anything really.
Yeah, but like you enjoy it.
Enjoy it, and I had turntables and stuff, and I was like in my early 20s. I was like, I want to be a DJ.
Yeah, who did
that shit like that? Yeah.
Everybody thinks they want to be a DJ. They just want to get laid and do free cocaine.
So,
what do you do to unwind?
When it's nice out, ride my motorcycle.
You have a motorcycle?
Yeah.
What kind? You a Harley guy or like Ducati guy?
R100 custom. BMW R100.
Sick. Yeah, we had a guy on here. Probably like 6 weeks ago now. He's one of the guys that like he rides Harleys like and mods them out, but he's one of those guys you'll see that does like giant wheelies on the highway for like 200-yard stretches, or like he had this one video where he's doing a wheelie and fireworks are coming up out of his
That's pretty dope.
The sides of his, what do you call them, saddlebags? Yeah, that seems fun.
No, I like to ride, just chill, go around the city.
Yeah, I would like to do that too.
Yeah,
I think I'm too Jewish to ride a motorcycle. I feel like if I get on a motorcycle, I'm gonna have some sort of health problem immediately. Dude, if I went to the doctor and I was like, he's like saw me pull up on a motorcycle, he'd like revoke my insurance. He'd be like, no, not you.
No, I ride dirty too. I don't have a license.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Does nobody? You gotta get pulled over, so, I guess. Yeah. All right, so you ride your motorcycle. Chicago food. What's your favorite Chicago food spot?
Oh, shit. I don't know. Like,
or one you remember maybe going to like a lot when you first got here that's memorable to you?
I just went the other day. I used to go to Lula's Cafe like a lot.
The Southern Cafe?
Lula in Logan.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I used to go. Now I just went like recently. I go to Andrew's in Logan Square too.
The Greek place?
Yeah.
Andrew's Taverna?
Yeah.
That place is good.
That place, man. I like it.
I do too.
I mean, like, it's not like, but it's, cool stuff. And I live in West Loop now, so I get like JP Graziano's and all that.
I fucking love that place. Yeah. Have you been to D'Amato's?
Yes, I was there last weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was packed.
It's always packed.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to get the Matthys lady on the pod. She's they just got such cool history, and every time I go in there, she's just about that business. Mm-hmm. She's like, "What do you want? Come on, order, get out of line." I'm just like, "Yes, that's who you want."
Yeah, it was great too. Great sandwich.
Yeah, the Matthys and the one next to it I like a lot. Bari.
No, I don't think I've had it.
It's right next door. So they're all the same bread. That's my favorite part. Like the Matthys supplies JP and obviously the Matthys and Bari.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Are you a bar guy or are you a stay-at-home guy?
Man, I mean, I did a whole always out, you know, and then now I'm like more chill. Like I'm like, you know what I mean? Like my girl now is just like you have friends, so why don't go out? I'm like,
she's like, get the fuck out of the house.
But I mean, like I go be in the moment that I do like kind of like hang out. But then bars, I mean, I will go out. I'll go out with her and friends and stuff like that. But I don't think I have a specific bar. I go to Soho House a lot.
Solo House?
Yeah.
Soho House? Or
Soho.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've only been there twice for a show. Is the vibe okay in there? Is it like people chill?
I mean, it's
you probably get a lot of contacts and stuff.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, yeah.
Do you so you have to be a member to go there, right?
Yeah.
Do you have to buy the drinks too, or like is it part of your membership? Okay, yeah. That's cool. They have a pool, I've heard too.
Yeah. Then in the summer it's nice.
Yeah, I could imagine that. All right, man. A couple more questions, and I'll let you get out of here. What inspires you? Like, just I guess what inspires you?
Wow, everything. Like I feel like even the city was like what my main inspiration. I feel like I used to paint before the Bay. I used to paint like, you know, cityscapes, and I still do.
Really?
And then, like you know, even when I paint murals or like prints and stuff, it's a cityscape.
That's cool.
That was like my inspiration is just the city, and I don't do it specifically Chicago. I kind of do the buildings like they're in my head. And and then I add in the background John Hancock and the other one, you know. And people say that's not Chicago. I'm like, it's my Chicago in my mind, but you know what I mean?
That's an interesting thing. So when you do something, do you find it or do you prefer, I guess, because you could probably do both, like do you like the work that you are like copying something or that you imagine in your head? Really?
Yeah.
Do you have like a very vivid picture in there? Yeah. Like
even that, like this mural that is there, I painted that with my fiance in Miami, and it's like, you know, like, oh, do kind of tiles, you know, and then tiles for me was like that, like having the bear.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I mean, I have it's just weird. Sometimes I just think of something and I completely see it.
What's this business here? What business?
Oh, that's Salvation Army.
Salvation Army?
Yeah.
When you see something in your head, sorry, this is just fascinating to me. When you see something in your head like this, does it like all exist at once, or do like new pieces come in, or does it change as you like see it in real life?
It changes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the one in Uptown that I just painted, I was going to paint, I went to fix it. I think it's one of the last ones on my Instagram. I went to fix it because they kind of redid some stuff.
Okay.
Let me see. The one that said "Fight for Love."
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
I have a time thing, but I was just gonna paint the bear and do some design, and then when I got there, I thought about adding the girl and then the "Fight for Love" in the between. Like, you know, "Fight for Love" was at the end.
So it started out as the right side, then you did the left, then you put the middle piece in.
Yeah, and it was all, you know, me like at the moment just like thinking what to do.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I don't have that, I guess. So like, it's just really cool to hear about. Yeah. The only closest thing I've heard to that is like, there was this guy on like this, like Stan Lee, you know, Stan Lee who did all the comic books, used to have this show. Do you remember the show he had where he would have people come on and people would have like a different superpower? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, no.
It was always like a weird superpower. Like some guy could like conduct electricity through his body. Okay. Some guy could hold his breath for a really long time. Like not quite a superpower, but like I guess in like 3 generations maybe we'll have mutants. But like this one guy, they flew him up in a helicopter. He had a photographic memory, and he painted a whole cityscape.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Yeah. Down to like 52 windows on this side, 3 across, and then this one there was only 2. Like just wild.
I seen that. That's crazy. I seen that video.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
You know, this is me. I've been messaging you for years.
Oh yeah.
What's it say? This
I'm just saying, like,
fucking artist is saying.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, but sometimes it goes to the hidden folder.
You talked to me though.
Okay.
Like even just like 2 days ago.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's good. But I mean, it's good. Like, I mean, I get that a lot. Like, people's like, oh, but man, I've been in places too, and people's like, oh, hey, what's up? Like, you remember me? You know, I'm like, yeah, but like, I mean, sometimes we met like 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool, but like, people change too, their faces. You know, like, I mean, like,
people do change.
Yeah, you know, it's like. So
I had a friend who I hadn't seen in like a decade, and he goes, "You look like you got stung by a bunch of bees." And I'm like, "I'm just older, you fucker. I'm older and a little fatter." All right, man. Fucking love it. Thanks for coming out and doing it.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for us?
No, this is fun. Like I said, I never done anything like this. You know, like I've been asked many times. So yeah.
Well, we appreciate you doing it here on the Chop Shop. Yeah. Is there anything you have coming up that you want to talk about that we could like promote?
I'm just chilling, man.
Okay.
Doing commissions, and let's say I might do a show with Artist Replete in May. So that's my solo show, I think, for the year.
Okay.
And then I'm working on that stuff. Like, this is like, I want to do this.
I love this.
This is like, I painted the other day. After I moved studios, that's like, this is my main thing. I'm gonna do, which I've done it before. I've done like stuff that is not the bear, you know, and it's like a weird thing because people are like, oh, cool, but it's not the bear. You know what I mean? It's like, it's hard to, because I painted before that it was not. And when you brand something, you know, you kind of get stuck doing that. So I feel like I'm just like, fuck it. You know what I mean? I want to do it because I want to do it. Because I want to feel good about it. And I want to like do something that is different. So I mean, this is my first painting of it. And I want to do a whole series of them.
Do you feel like the success of the bear is like hindering to work like this, where people are like, we kind of wanted you to do the bear?
Yeah, it's like all the time. Like, I mean, like, and it's so weird too, because sometimes even the bear, I want to do it like, you know, how all this stuff and whatever. And people's like, no, I just want the tag on it, like the tag, you know? So it kind of goes to the simplicity of just doing the tag of the bear.
For that reason, do you think you ever might like retire the bear so you could build something new? I
would love to, but you know, I mean, I have many opportunities to do the bear. The bear tells a story in so many ways, you know, like a book and like a TV show and things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like there's opportunities there that it's like it takes it in a different way. So I would like to. Well, my goal is to, you know, have the bear, you know, and because it's completely its own thing. It's the Bear Champ Inc. You know what I mean? Like, it's business. So be that, and then JC Rivera is like this.
Yeah.
Ever think about making a cartoon series, like an animation?
It's in the works. Yeah.
Oh!
It's been. Well, I mean, like, we can talk about it. I've been talking to a studio now like for years now. But anyway, I just talked to them again, and there's a lady that wrote a book, and then I'm illustrating it, but it's her story. So that's what I was gonna bring back to them to be like, hey, what about this story? You know, because when we started talking, it was about what's it called? Like the bear, almost like Family Guy, like you know, I lived in like a gym, like rundown. It was like his second chance or whatever. You know, it was actually pretty cool. You know, like very like, oh, fuck you guys or whatever. You know what I mean? Like there was like that.
I'd watch that.
Now it became that's like it did it like a Sizzler and everything, but now it's like we have another story that's like a kid's story, like kind of to like more like educational or whatever.
Do you like that better, or is like there?
Well,
you don't care.
Me, I want like, you know, the bear smoking cigarette, be like, oh, fuck everybody, you know what I mean, like that. But so. But it's kind of cool if it goes to, you know, I mean, I have kids and everything. It's kind of cool if it goes that way too.
So the Bear Champ is he got a negative attitude? Like, is he a positive dude or?
Yeah, I mean, chill. Yeah, but it was kind of cool to see it when how we were kind of making the story of that, because it was like it wasn't even like he was mean or anything. He was just like old, retired, kind of lived in the old gym and look at himself in the mirror and be like, oh, what the fuck am I doing or whatever. So it was kind of cool. So I mean, like I said, that's still kind of the works and whatever. So.
We'll look out for that. It's amazing. If people want to like reach out to you and like get a work commissioned, like how does that work? They reach out to you over Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram usually, or my website. But I think Instagram is I get most of it. Yeah. Or people saying like, hey, can I get this for free?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, can I get this for free? Yeah. No. But why don't you hit me with your budget and we'll see what we can do.
I usually do that. I mean, like how it was for me. It was weird so I was working at a warehouse, right? And I remember
this is when you were getting started.
Yeah, actually when this started, like the murals and stuff. I was working at a warehouse, and I mean, I'm a really like strict 8 o'clock clock in, like I mean, like you do
like factory work.
Yeah, pretty much, right? And then you take a break. I remember like I was so fucking sick of it, right? And then I go and I take a break, and I looked at my email, and I got an email from an agency that was working with the Shop Small campaign, and they're like, hey, we want you to found you, whatever. We want you to do a mural for American Express. And I was like, oh shit. And then I looked at the letter, and it was the money. And then it was like, at that time, it was like 2 paychecks, right? Like,
damn,
and I was making like $60K, I think, a year in that factory thing. And it was like, this is my whole month, And I was like, holy shit. I remember like my ex-wife was like, yo, dude, just like check this out. I screenshot it, I sent to her. And she's like, holy shit. And I'm like, yeah, I can make this type of money. And then like 2 weeks later, a marketing agency asked me to paint a mural out there. Wow. And I had, before that, I had no idea how to like price my shit. Yeah. And when that was my pricing, after that
became the norm. Yeah.
After that, I was like, oh, this is how much, you know what I mean? Like, this is how much it is. And they're like, all right, cool. And I was like, oh shit, okay. And then after that, I was like, let me ask like $2,000 on top of this. And then
it slowly goes up and up. Yeah.
And probably in a few months, I quit that job because it was like, like I went from like living almost paycheck to paycheck to like having like a, really decent money in my bank account. And I was like, what? Am I still working at a warehouse? I remember like, I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? And then I started like being on TV and whatever. And the people at the warehouse like, fuck you doing here, man?
Yeah.
They were like, so what are you doing here? You're like, and then I quit.
Was there like a big dramatic moment where you came and you were like, I fucking quit?
Well, yeah, because I wanted to quit. And then it's like, hey, what about we're going to do insurance? And I wanted to quit.
Oh, like, yeah.
Fuck, I was like, we'll figure it out. And I didn't. And then one day I just got sick of it. And then I did a show in Barcelona, a solo show, and I came back from that. And then I was like, man, I got to do this like full time. And then I just remember like, there's a dude that always like kind of picked on me, and shit. And I remember like going to him, I'll be like, dude, like if you will, I'll fucking punch you in the fucking face. You know what I mean? Like kind of like that. And it's like, oh, and then like the next day I was like, you know what? Fuck all this shit. I don't need this. And I like quit.
How good did that feel?
Yeah. That was amazing. Yeah. And that was like my last like, job at like some place like that.
Yeah. That's gotta feel good to do that, man. Well, fuck yeah. Thanks for coming out. Man. Thanks for doing this. This has been the Chop Shop, and we'll see y'all next week. Sick.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.